you've done some craziness that is not beneficial to their company, they'll hold it.
In the middle. Kanye West? No, Kanye. Kanye. Happy to see you. Yeah.
According to Jane Doe, she had been broken up with Diddy at this time. Diddy was busy. He had Young Miami, Jesse, Gina in rotation. She was on a trip with a different rapper named Bear, and they were in Vegas, and she goes to dinner with this rapper for his wife's birthday, and then afterwards, they go to a hotel, and there's an that she recognizes there named Anton, and she's like, oh my God, like, why are you here? Like, I recognize you, because she obviously did Freak Offs. So this other celebrity had hired this or Anton to have sex with a woman. So they go to this hotel room, and there's 7 to 8 people, she said, just staring, watching this rapper. So there's this banging this woman, and there's 7 to 8 people watching. And at one point, she even took her top off, she said, because she was in the moment. And the famous rapper went up to her and said, I think you're very beautiful. I always wanted to F you. Now, not many rappers have wives with birthdays in January. So you guys can do the math, and you guys can figure out who it is.
Kanye West, I hate that, man. Plus, I seen the nigga want to party just in the bathroom.
He was sitting across from me, and you know, if you know about like my past and like us being together, like I noticed as I was standing there, just kind of just like wondering what's going on. Diddy kept looking at me, and Kanye kept looking at Lauren, and like they were exchanging glances, and I'm like, they're like watching me strangely. And I'm like, okay, let me pretend to drink, and like I'm not actually doing it. And like that seemed to like make them happy, like me like pretending to like to join in. And immediately I'm like, there's something in this drink. There's something in this drink. And I didn't know what to do. And I realized that I'm in the studio with Diddy and Kanye, and they're both off their shit. And there's 3 other men, an executive that works with Kanye, his engineer, and his cousin, and me. Alone. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I haven't started freaking out yet. Like, I know what the situation is, and they're like out of their minds. And they start coming towards me, and they're like, don't you want to take your clothes off? Like, it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no, fine. I'm fine like this. And they're like, come on, like, it's just us. Like, we're all just friends. Like, let us just, like, see, like, how you look. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And like, I still haven't gotten scared yet, you know? Like, I'm still like, this is a bad situation. I'm creeped out, but like, there's no reason to panic. There's other men here. Hold on a second. Real-time feedback. Yeah, so they're coming towards me, and I'm like, okay, this is, I don't know where my manager is. I don't know where anyone is. And they're coming towards me more, and they're trying to like take my clothes off. And I'm like at that point where I'm like, this is not good, but I'm like still trying to like play it off. Just like, stop, you guys are stupid. Like, get out of here. Like, don't touch me. Okay, so let me just get to the point. So they start trying, like, they're like pawing at me. Like, they're both drunk, probably on something else. And I start to get a little bit apprehensive because I'm pretty much like backed up against the wall. Like, there's only one exit, and I'm pressed up against this door. And I'm still not completely terrified yet, but I'm like, you guys stop. Like, stop. And they're getting to the point where they have like ripped my shirt off. And like, I'm like almost fully exposed at this point. And they're both coming at me, and I'm like, you guys, like, seriously, this isn't funny anymore. And I look to my left where his executive is. Like, we know him pretty well. Like, we've been around him a lot.
What are your thoughts when 50 Cent blamed the second season ratings dip on gay stuff?
First of all, you know, the pot calling the kettle black is all I'm saying.
The pot calling the kettle black.
Whoa. That was some tea. That was shade. That was major shade.
Hot calling the kettle black. So, I mean, you're not insinuating that
he's
50
gay?
Cent is...
Oh, my Lord, please. What? Girl, we got to talk after this episode is
Wait,
over.
Vivica A. Fox, what are you insinuating?
Well, I mean,
He gave you...
no, he's not. I mean, we had a great time. I mean, but he's just seems like he's got something that's not quite clear. So
you mean sometimes if people protest too much about something,
yes,
there's the fire is happening right there in front of them.
Absolutely. I just never forget there was a Vibe cover with him and Soulja Boy that made me kind of go,
Soulja Boy, I just want to say this about Soulja Boy. Y'all gotta give him a little bit of latitude because he a victim.
The expose is popping off again.
You know, he been in the rap game since he was little, just like Weezy.
Yeah.
Wow. And he's been ran through quite a bit.
Oh, no, she didn't say that.
Whoa.
You
I
know
ain't know that information.
You don't remember when he was in New York and they called him
from one thing to another.
Whoever his big daddy was threw him out into the hallway. He was walking around in the hallway holding his nuts. This couple has actually appeared on a magazine cover together. That's why he's always able to call other on being a swish. Birds of a feather flock together.
That's true.
Game recognized game. There's no way in the world that man understands that much about homosexual dealings in the industry, is constantly calling people out, and he ain't seen none of it personally.
Vivica A. Fox just set the internet on fire, threatening to leak a scandalous tape of her ex, 50 Cent, allegedly getting his back blown out by another man. And she's not backing down. This isn't just messy, it's catastrophic. What started as 50 Cent throwing shade at Kanye West and Diddy has spiraled into Vivica's revenge tour. And if the tape she claims to have is real, 50's reputation might be finished. Now fans are asking, is Vivica bluffing? Or is this the moment she finally settles the score? Y'all, it just got real. Vivica A. Fox didn't just clap back. She issued a full-blown threat. And let's be very clear, she didn't stutter. On national TV, she warned 50 Cent to keep her name out of his mouth, or she'd start airing out his dirty laundry. And baby, she said she's got receipts. Not rumors, not whispers, a whole tape, allegedly showing 50 Cent in a very compromising position. And no, we're not talking about something light. We're talking about a video that could blow up his entire tough guy, alpha male image. The streets are buzzing. The industry's on edge. Because if Vivica presses play, it's over. Now before y'all start defending Curtis Jackson, let's not forget, 50 Cent has made a career out of trolling, especially when it comes to outing, mocking, and humiliating other black men in the industry. Just this year alone, 50's been going in on Diddy, calling him everything short of sugar daddy to the stars, posting memes, throwing shade, even alluding to the infamous parties and the swirling rumors about what really goes on behind closed doors. And Kanye? Same story. 50 went on a whole spree clowning Ye's fashion choices, mental health, and what he called zesty behavior. He even reposted edited photos and hinted that Kanye was playing for the other team. But now, the tables are turning, because the same man who's made a brand out of dragging others might be hiding his own skeletons. And Vivica, who knows him intimately, is all but promising to expose them. And if this tape is real, then all that bravado, all those jokes, all those memes suddenly look like projection. Hypocrisy much? Few. Vivica A. Fox is not the one to play with, and she just proved it on Instagram. After 50 Cent threw yet another jab her way, calling her washed up and mocking her looks, Vivica fired back with a scorched earth post that stopped everyone mid-scroll. No subtext, no riddles, just fire. She posted a throwback photo of her and 50 in their prime, cozy, close, intimate. And her caption? Baby, it was laced with venom. Quote, Curtis, don't make me remind the world what you were really into when the cameras were off. I still got that footage. Test me. Footage. Not memories. Not stories. Footage. Allegedly, Vivica is sitting on a videotape that shows 50 Cent engaging in what some would call alternative behavior. And not for love, but for cash. Yes, the word on the street is gay for pay. Now let's be clear. No one should be shamed for their sexuality. But when you build your brand on toxic masculinity, clown other men for being soft or queer-coded, and then allegedly get exposed doing the very same thing behind closed doors, that's not just messy. That's hypocritical. And here's where it gets even wilder. Insiders claim Vivica didn't just hear about this tape. She had access to it firsthand. Why? Because she was allegedly there when it was recorded, or at the very least, was with someone who was a former stylist, a videographer, maybe even a bitter ex who decided to share the footage out of revenge. Whatever the source, Vivica isn't bluffing. She knows exactly what she's threatening, and 50 knows it too. That's why he's been real quiet since she posted that bombshell. But the internet is wide awake. And now everyone's asking, is 50 Cent about to get exposed for the same behavior he ridiculed others for? Or was this just a warning shot from Vivica before she goes full scorched earth? Now let's talk about what's really setting Hollywood on fire. The whispers that this mysterious tape Vivica hinted at, it's not just a threat. It's real. Multiple industry insiders, some of them former assistants, stylists, and even reality show producers, are quietly admitting off the record that they've either seen the footage themselves or know someone who has. One anonymous source told a gossip blog last week. It's been floating around for years. It's one of those secrets people joke about at parties, but never say on camera. Everyone knew, just no one had the guts to go public. So now the question becomes, why now? Why is Vivica suddenly threatening to leak this tape? Is it revenge? A power move? Or did something happen behind the scenes that forced her hand? Some believe 50 tried to silence her with legal threats, or worse, attempted to smear her behind the scenes with the same vigor he's used against Diddy and Kanye. Others say it's karma. That Vivica warned him years ago to stop bringing her name up, and now she's holding the nuclear option. Even more chilling, there are whispers that it's not just one tape, that there might be a vault of receipts connected to multiple celebs who played both sides of the industry to protect their image, secure funding, or, as some insiders say, pay their way into the next tier. And if Vivica really has her hands on even one of those tapes, baby, Hollywood's about to get exposed like never before. But just when you think this story couldn't get any messier, in walks Kanye West, uninvited, unexpected, and unbothered, showing up at Diddy's federal trial with the confidence of a man who knows something we don't. Kanye wasn't subpoenaed. He wasn't scheduled to testify. Yet there he was, sitting stone-faced in the courtroom as Jane Doe 11 gave gut-wrenching testimony about a 2007 Las Vegas freak-off party, where she claimed she was trafficked, drugged, and assaulted by two unnamed rappers and a music mogul with security detail. You know where this is going. Online sleuths immediately clocked the timeline. Kanye was in Vegas that same weekend. So was Diddy. So was at least one of Diddy's longtime proteges, whose name we won't say just yet. But let's just say his G-Unit ties run deep. Even more suspicious, the Jane Doe described one of the men as wearing a sequined black mask and ranting about God, fame, and mind control, eerily similar to the kind of public breakdowns Kanye has had for years. Now, we're not saying Kanye was the unnamed rapper in the Jane Doe story, but what we are saying is his presence in that courtroom wasn't random. Was he there to confront his past, support Diddy, or was he silently warning the industry? Don't think I won't drag all of you down with me. Some speculate Kanye's afraid that he's next, that with the walls closing in around Diddy, the feds are flipping witnesses like pancakes, and someone might already be cooperating, maybe even showing investigators the same tapes Vivica's hinting at. Because once those tapes come out, it's not just careers that end, it's empires. Let's break down what Jane Doe 11 actually said in that courtroom, because the details are not only disturbing, they're pointing fingers at the biggest names in hip-hop. According to her sworn testimony, she was flown out to Las Vegas in January 2007 under the pretense of modeling for a Ciroc ad. But when she landed, there was no production team, No cameras, just a suite at the Palms, packed with women, bodyguards, alcohol, and men whose faces were covered, or conveniently blurred by dim lights and loud music. She described it as a birthday event for a powerful man, rumored to be Diddy himself, who's known for throwing those infamous all-black, all-secretive birthday bashes every January. And here's where it gets messy. That same weekend, Kanye West was also in Vegas, celebrating early success from graduation while still grieving the loss of his mother, Donda. You want a timeline? Bianca Censori, Kanye's current wife, was born January 5th, and some insiders claim he's developed a bizarre tradition of engaging in ritual bonding around that date ever since. People close to him say January is his most emotionally unstable month, often triggering spiritual spirals, ego outbursts, and isolation, or worse, reckless sexual behavior. Back in court, Jane Doe described being drugged and passed around between two rappers and a mogul who watched from behind a glass. One of them wore a designer mask, ranted about God and being a chosen one, and allegedly asked her if she believed in sacrificing the flesh to free the mind. Sound familiar? That masked man was reportedly obsessed with mirrors, made her dance while he filmed, and quoted Bible verses during sex. She said he seemed conflicted, like he was trying to save me while also destroying me. If that doesn't sound like the Kanye we've watched unravel for the past decade, then who else fits that profile? The details are haunting. The religious undertones, the filmed assault, the voyeurism. One woman said she even saw what looked like a body double, used for role play, humiliation, or worse. The FBI hasn't named names yet, but people online aren't waiting for a conviction to draw the lines between Diddy, Kanye, and the empire of silence that protected them for years. And this is where things come full circle, because now we're asking the question nobody in mainstream media wants to touch. Is 50 Cent really exposing the culture, or is he just trying to get ahead of it? Let's not forget, 50's been relentless in mocking both Kanye and Diddy, calling Diddy fruity, clowning Kanye for his mental breakdowns, and painting himself as the last real one in a world full of sellouts and freaks. But what if all that noise was just deflection? Because here's the irony. While 50 was clowning Kanye for looking unstable and accusing Diddy of grooming, Vivica A Fox was sitting on a bombshell of her own, hinting that she's seen a tape of 50 doing the very things he mocks others for. The internet's theory? 50 Cent has been projecting. Loudly. Some say he's terrified that the same freak-off culture he's exposed Diddy for is the very one he used to climb the ranks. And now that Kanye might be cooperating or preparing to flip the script, 50's nervous. Because if Kanye starts talking, if he testifies or releases his own receipts, he could drag everybody down, including the men who've kept him mocked, isolated, and unstable for years. People forget, Kanye and 50 used to be rivals. Their 2007 album Face Off wasn't just about music, it was about who would control the throne. But now, it's about who survives the fallout. Because if the feds get their hands on all the tapes, from Vivica's vault, from Diddy's penthouse surveillance, from Kanye's own twisted archive, it's game over. Not just for Diddy, not just for Kanye, but maybe for 50 Cent too. So now the million-dollar question. Why is Vivica speaking up now? Is this about revenge? Is she trying to hit 50 where it hurts after years of public disrespect? Let's not forget, he's humiliated her on multiple occasions. From mocking their relationship to calling her washed up in interviews, 50 has made Vivica the punchline of his personal brand for nearly a decade. And while she mostly kept her cool, insiders say she never forgot. She never forgave. But this doesn't feel like just payback. Some speculate Vivica might be making a move for justice, not just for herself, but for other women who've been ridiculed, gaslit, or silenced in hip-hop. By hinting at the tape and allegedly knowing what's on it, she's flipping the power dynamic. Suddenly, 50 Cent isn't laughing anymore. Others think it's all about attention. That Vivica is seizing the moment, riding the wave of the Diddy investigation, Kanye's courtroom chaos, and the unraveling of hip-hop's dirtiest secrets to get her name trending. But here's the thing. If this were just about clout, would she risk the legal smoke? Would she tease a tape that could trigger an industry war? Maybe she's just had enough. Maybe Vivica got tired of watching men like 50 use shame, homophobia, and half-truths to dodge accountability while turning women into cannon fodder for their careers. Maybe this is her warning shot, not just to 50, but to all the men who think their secrets are safe. And let's not forget, Vivica knows how Hollywood works. She knows when the sharks are circling. So maybe she's not creating this chaos. Maybe she just sees which way the tide is turning, and she's getting ahead of it. So now we're all wondering, will the tape leak? And if it does, will it destroy 50's empire? Will it validate every rumor he's ever tried to weaponize against others? Or will it backfire on Vivica, turning public sympathy into suspicion? Could she face legal threats, gag orders, or even blacklisting if she goes too far? More importantly, how many tapes are out there? If Kanye is implicated in the Vegas freak-off, if Diddy's surveillance vault really exists, and if Vivica has her own stash of receipts, what happens when all of it starts coming out? Will this be the moment the industry finally cracks open? Or will the old machinery, NDAs, hush money, and powerful friends kick into gear to bury the truth all over again? And where does 50 go from here? He's made a career out of exposing others. But what happens when he becomes the headline? When his secrets are no longer safe? This isn't just about one tape or one woman. It's about a system that's finally turning on itself. So stay locked in, because if even half of what's being whispered is true, this won't be the last tape, the last clapback, or the last celebrity to fall. We're just getting started.